We're live with your boy T-Pain. We love rap music.
Nappy Boy Radio.
That kiss.
It's weird that it's all in our head, eh?
Yeah, that was an iconic song. Dude,
That intro was crazy.
Hey, you guys want to know a fun fact about me?
What's that?
I'm the world's biggest T-Pain fan.
no way.
Really? Do you still listen to like old T-Pain today?
Yeah,
Whoa.
and new ones too.
And wait, he's got new music?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that about you, Storm. Thanks for sharing that.
No
man.
way. All right, well, how about this then, Storm? All right. Welcome to the ultimate T-Pain knowledge check.
Yeah, you can
To see how well
like
you know
literally
the king
quiz
of
me. Yeah,
autotune
I bet you I can do it.
and
yeah.
how much you can learn about him. Let's start
All right.
simple. What is T-Pain's full name?
His name is Fahim Najim.
Okay. All right. Number 2, what was the name of T-Pain's debut album?
It's Rapid Turn Singer.
Oh, okay. And it's multiple choice FYI. I'm just not considering the choices. All right, let's get more difficult. Which single from T-Pain received a Justin Timberlake remix?
Justin Timberlake did "Can't Believe It" remix.
Okay.
Is that right?
I don't
Or
know.
did they
Like,
do
it's
more
gonna
than
tell
one?
us at the end.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
What is
yeah.
T-Pain's wife's real name?
Amber? What's her real name?
Just Amber is
Amber.
fine. Yeah, well,
Amber.
there is an answer for that. Which of these projects was not released as an album but as mixtapes? There are multiple answers.
Yeah,
So, just I'll name it and you say yes or no if I should select
it's an
it. okay?
album.
3 Rings.
3 Rings is an album.
Okay, so there's not. The Iron Way.
Iron Way is a mixtape
Okay.
with DJ Drama.
This is freaking me out.
Yeah. Pre-Evolver.
Pre-Volver is the mixtape before Revolver.
Okay. Oblivion.
Oblivion is a album.
Stoic.
Mixtape.
Rapper Turnt Singer.
Yeah, that's an album.
The album.
That was
Okay.
his first album.
Everything Must Go. Vols.
Yeah,
1 and
that
2.
was a mixtape.
Okay. Revolver.
That's an album.
Epiphany.
I didn't know it was gonna be this long of a quiz, but it's an album.
Epiphany's an album.
Yeah, that's an
Okay.
album.
And Pre-Rings.
It's a mixtape. Or 3 Rings.
Okay, I think we can stop there.
Did I prove myself?
He's ridiculous. So hold on. So your favorite artist, period, today of all time is
All
T-Pain.
time, yeah.
Wow, why did you say that?
I don't know. I
Okay.
I
I
was
respect-
ridiculed a long time for it, and I don't know.
Last question, okay?
Yeah. Okay,
Like,
last
you're a real
question. You
person.
can fact check me on this. His birthday is September 30th, 1985.
No.
Yeah, September 30th, 1985.
No.
What is it?
1984.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. You're a fake T-Pain fan.
I think he
I
proved
swear,
himself.
I'm a T-Painiac. I swear.
T-Painiac. Honestly, T-Pain's sick. Like, I love T-Pain.
Yeah.
Personally.
I never had anything against him.
Yeah.
Like, he has so many hits, man.
Yeah, he's a hit maker.
He's like one of the most influential. He's actually like one of the greatest, in my opinion.
He's my goat. So I'm glad that you guys.
He's honestly really good. And also, he can sing.
Yeah.
He doesn't need
Did you hear
auto-tune.
his Tiny Desk? That's when he did no auto tune, and then people were like, "Shit, like he can sing." And
Oh, yeah, he can
people
sing
were
really
like,
good. It's just a stylistic
He's
choice.
a talented guy.
Storm, you just like broke out of your shell.
Aren't you glad that you guys said you're T-Pain?
Yeah, learning something new about you is like that was awesome. That's cool.
Wow. Well,
I think it's time to kick off the
I
podcast.
think it's time to pick off the podcast. So
Celtics Warriors tonight, and have you guys voted today? Those are the 2 topics.
So I actually haven't voted. Me and Lewis are going to try to sneak out
after this.
after the podcast.
During the
is
pod,
done.
Storm's just gonna talk to you for an hour about T-Pain while the guys go vote.
The T-Pain podcast. Wow. Well, want to do the intro there, Lee?
But maybe before we jump in, one thing to consider too today is that we are going to be doing just the shorter podcast, and we're going to be doing our snip segment separately as a second piece of content. So be on the lookout for that.
Yeah.
And also, I got to get home because the Celtics Warriors game 1's happening at 9. So
Oh, you got lots of time.
I gotta do the weeds. I gotta spray the weeds before.
Oh.
Gotta do weed
Oh.
do
so that he
weed.
can deal with the
Smoke some
with the game.
weed.
Yeah, I might actually need some because I'm so stressed.
Is
with
it
this game.
is it like game 7?
It's game 1, but it's
Oh.
just its own. Here's my prediction right here. Celtics win game 1. That's so outlandish.
No way.
Yeah, right now everyone's favoring the Warriors, but
For game 1.
I got Celtics for game 1, and I got Celtics winning the whole series in 6.
I can't even believe
In
that.
6.
6.
Sex. Do it.
Actually, knowing the Celtics, they'll go 7 games. They don't know how to clean up in 6. But anyway, welcome to the Fast Forward podcast. I'm your co-host Lee.
And I'm your co-host Lewis, and welcome to the fastest growing Canadian type podcast in the universe.
This week, we're going to be rewinding as usual, talking about AI art and the world of AI art, as well as elderly tech.
We're also learning how you can read 10 times faster. Are you excited for that one, Lee? Read 10 times faster?
Yeah.
And the future of retail. Roll the intro.
You know that gets cut every time, right?
You seriously cut that every time?
You have to, because the intro starts like at the beginning of when I'm saying welcome to the Fast Forward podcast.
Yeah.
It starts already. We talk over the intro. That was the intro.
You need to roll the intro.
You have rolled the intro.
So
So the right answer is
we are in the intro.
Yeah.
You can't roll it because the intro's just ended.
No.
Yeah, when you say roll the intro and I say welcome to the Fast Forward podcast, that makes sense because you've said roll the intro, then I do the intro.
Well,
But
I'll do something in this next segment that will make it impossible to cut. Deal?
So I have to leave it this
So
time.
you have to leave it this time.
By doing a callback to this segment.
I'm gonna just cut the whole segment. You don't know. You don't listen.
Storm has all the power, bro.
Yes.
He
Oh,
literally- yeah, he can do whatever he wants, man.
Except for get T-Pain's birthday
Oh,
right.
sure. Shit. You got me.
All right, first story, Lewis. You got something to talk about
Yeah.
TikTok or something?
Yeah, so on my TikTok account, I had a video go viral on Tuesday.
Yep.
So I posted on Tuesday, I posted on YouTube, and on both platforms it did extremely well. It passed a million views. But I've told you guys both about this before I posted it, but I was working on this project to automate the process of making those Reddit videos. I'm not sure if you guys have seen them, but you've clearly seen them now that I've made you aware of them. But on TikTok, it's a simple type of video format. On TikTok, there's like a Minecraft like ASMR background with just Reddit posts over top of it with a robot speaking it. So very lazy piece of content. So I decided to find a way to automate the whole thing, and it just blew up on TikTok, and it started trending on GitHub as well, and like got over
Millions of views or in the million, past a million views.
past a million views. Yeah,
That's awesome. It's only been like
2 days.
2 days. So,
Well, less than 2 days.
so
Yeah.
do you think what do you think it's gonna hit based off like how it's doing?
I don't know. Probably like 5 million, maybe.
So it's the biggest video.
It's probably my biggest video yet.
And as far as the comments, engagement, everything, it's just looking like your biggest video.
Yeah, so far at least, just because of the amount of people who are looking at it, just kind of the concept of it as well. I think in the current state of TikTok, people are so tired of these videos, so this is kind of a cool way
Yeah.
to respond to
I
it.
feel like there's conversation to be had about it.
Mhm.
So maybe we'll link the TikTok,
Yeah,
or you guys can go follow Lewis on Lewis Menelaus on TikTok, Coding
Lewis
with Lewis
Menelaus.
on YouTube.
correct,
And Lewis
yeah.
is actually going to be taking requests for other things you would like him to ruin in the TikTok algorithm, so that it can never come
Yeah.
back. So I'd like
Destroy.
to request the "Oh No" song. If you can find what you know, it's like "Oh no, oh no, no." I've heard it so many times.
Oh, it's
if
bad.
you can find a way to ruin that for me, that'd be great. So
You know what would be funny? If we did a meme with you, Storm, with "Oh no, oh no, 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 no," you know, that'd be pretty funny.
I'd hate it.
Like that wasn't even worthy of nothing. Yeah. But that's what I did the other day. So
Sweet. So
now.
basically, you took one of the most cringy but popular and stupid simple types of content on TikTok, and you programmed a bot that creates those videos
yeah, there's
automatically.
Yeah, so the only thing that people were doing was just editing the clips together. That was the only thing that was requiring people to do it. So I just automated that part. And so now you just run one command on your computer. It makes a whole new video for you, completely random and unique every single time.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Very cool. And it's probably gonna make a lot of people in that space kind of sad.
It
I
did.
know a few people commented saying like they're real, they're not bots, but
I had about 12 or so like Reddit accounts that commented on there saying, "It's awesome. I'm not a bot though," because people were convinced that they're
speaking of bots making content, have you seen what's happening in the
that
world
was-
of AR?
That was epic, man. That was epic.
You didn't let me finish the transition now. I would have appreciated the little comment after. But yeah, speaking of bots creating content, there's a lot of buzz going on in the world of AI-generated art. There's been big videos by content creators. It's been all over the tech news. And
Wait, AI can generate art?
yeah, basically, artificial intelligence is able to create artwork just from text. All you have to do is ask it what you want it to create in the style you want it to create it in. And this AI will be able to create that for you in many iterations in seconds, way faster than any human artist could ever do it.
And way more accurate too. I've seen the DALL-E too, but you're saying that there's other ones out there too, right?
Yeah, there's so Image Gen or Imagine is Google's. They just released theirs, and both of them seem really impressive in their own rights. I guess my first question would be, is AI going to take away the jobs of artists around the world?
Personally, I don't think it will because there's a lot of
No?
things. No, I don't think
Really?
it will. No. Um, well, I mean, I don't know.
I
Guess
disagree.
it really depends, right? It depends on kind of what, like artists. Like if I wanted to buy a painting from an artist, like is the artist's painting I want, not necessarily what the
So
art is.
that's not what I meant. So not when you're buying someone's art, but when you. So there's lots of people that work in the creative economy, as animators and illustrators. Like, think. Okay, here's a great example. Okay, so right now, every time I use if I used DALL-E 2, for
Yeah.
example, it's gonna generate something from scratch. But I think once they start selling this, you'll be able to, like, let's say for example, I want to do an animated film. I might be able to add a character, an object as a character. So let's say it's like Lewis and Lee. So I put a little picture of an animated Lewis and a picture of an animated Lee. And then from there on out, I'm like, okay, Lewis and Lee arriving at Walmart. Scene number 1. Lewis and Lee pushing Lewis in a cart, grabbing cereal from the aisle. And I can continue to like be very, very specific about
Like
what I
for
want the scenes to
storyboarding
look.
purposes.
Yeah, for storyboarding, but even like why not ship the book? Right now, if you go online, you can find, if you write a short story, and you want to write a children's novel, you would go and hire these illustrators to do that work, and it's a lot of laborious work to come up like with original artwork.
Yeah.
Where I could just have DALL-E 2 in the style of children's book illustrations, create these incredibly vivid scenes. Now the issue is right now it's like a 1-to-1, so like every time you make a request, it's completely original. But like, what if you could get several pieces of art that are all the same style? Now you can do a whole book, and you don't
Yeah.
even need to like hire an artist. So I do think there's going to be, by removing the bottom tier, there's going to be like a trickle up situation where taking out so many artists, I think this will take out a bunch of jobs. Not all of them, but like
Yeah.
maybe 1 or 2 or 3%. And what are those people going to do, right? It cheapens their work.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure because a lot of people said the same thing with GitHub Copilot, right, when that came out. And maybe you're thinking more long term than I am. The thing I think about right now is that if you look at the existing artificial intelligence, it's already like it's gathered art that's existed already. And one of the biggest value proposition that artists, I guess you could say, have right now when you commission a piece of art for like a book or something like that is that you get its own style, especially if we're talking about character design, right?
DALL-E has its own style.
Yeah, like you can put in a cyberpunk style or something and it will do it in that. But it's like, but what I mean though is that like think about like Stewie Griffin versus, I don't know, like Chase from, what's it, like the firefighter dog.
Yeah, from Paw Patrol.
Paw Patrol, right? These kinds of arts were like unique, and DALL-E can can recreate that kind of style because it already exists from a human. Now, something I'm curious about too is like when will DALL-E become smart enough to start creating these like intricate characters with personality that haven't been replicated before? Do you know what I mean?
So the way that it works is it's inspired by all sorts of stuff. So the way that when you and I, when we create, nothing is completely original. We're actually just taking styles that we appreciate, know, and it's influenced by other stuff. So DALL-E is just a human in the same respect. It's not different than us in how we take inspiration from things and we merge them together. It's just able to do it way better than us because I can only pull inspiration from a few pieces at once. My brain can't comprehend a billion pieces of art, but DALL-E can.
Yeah.
And it can take all that art, and it literally is making completely original styles,
Yeah.
blending a cooking pot of different things. So
I'm
it's actually
wondering-
better than humans at art,
Yeah.
which is crazy.
I really am curious because I wonder if this is just more so going to replace the like stock footage or like the
Yep.
or like
Stock imagery.
stock imagery
Right.
more than anything because you don't want the same
But if a photographer or an illustrator creates that, how about album artwork, right? If I can put myself in there, or if let's say it can know what, let's say Juice World, right?
Yeah.
Juice World on a rocket ship flying away from Earth into the sun, with an alien.
yeah.
Boom. 1 second later, you've got album artwork. Now, Juice World is gonna hire an artist rest in peace. But his estate would hire an artist if he drops more music. But the local artists in your community, they're not. They're going to go to this web app that's powered by DALL-E 2 and create album artwork, boom, in a second, and use that. Posters for concerts, for movies, for a wide variety of things. Storyboarding, right?
You know what I'm curious about too is like how much it's going to cost per time you generate an image.
That'll be important. I can't imagine, though, it'll be more expensive than a person's time.
Oh, definitely not. No.
So that's the issue.
But,
and it's
also think about how many times, that like you'll need to like regenerate it, because these types of AIs, right? You want like different iterations.
Yeah.
Like I want like 50. Give me 50 of what I just asked for, and I'll pick between those 50. Yeah. But even then, if that costs even $2 an image, $100, right? Much better. And like, if I asked how much you think it would cost an artist to commission 50 drawings of the same thing, roughly, give or take.
Oh, like, I mean, every drawing is at least an hour, so it's 50 hours, like it's thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Thousands of dollars. It'd be really cool to see if I asked DALL-E 2 to do something for me, and it created like, let's say, a dozen options, and I could click the ones I liked, and then it would come up with new ones, and I could keep eliminating and like, merging different things.
Yeah.
Because
like using the DALL-E 2's like image as context for what more you want. Yeah.
So I like this one and I like this one. Can you give me some more options just based on these 2 out of the 12? Well, now it's like, okay, I know what Lee wants based on the ones he picked. Let's make more like that. So yeah, I would say like the way the technology works is actually really simple. It's like two different processes. One is being able to understand the context of what you're asking for. So understanding like what is a dog and what is riding a cat.
Yeah, like the relationship between it. I remember doing a video on that.
The relationship between the objects, what it means, and then the other part of it is how it like corrupts existing images and then recreates them by kind of like the reverse Gaussian blur. It's kind of really cool how it works.
It is nuts.
Yeah,
it's cool.
It's like destroying images, then rebuilding them. Destroying it down to the pixels, and then it's not how I thought it would work. In my head, I was like, oh, DALL-E 2 is like a pen, like it's able to like sketch it and. Like I'm thinking from a human perspective, but what it's doing is it's like destroying the image and then rebuilding it with the pixels in a different way.
Well, if you think about this too. Like if you think in your head, like a cat riding a horse in space, right? You think in your head, like, okay, how would a cat sit on a horse, right? And how would a horse act like if it was in space? Like these are kind of ridiculous things to hear, but a computer definitely doesn't know the context between those 3 things. So I thought it was really interesting how they added that component into it. How, like, what's the relationship between a cat and a horse? And then obviously all the images of a cat riding a horse is helping it train, and then in space when it's like upside down or something.
Yeah.
So nuts. I think that was seriously an essential part in training this model.
It's gonna give a lot of people a lot of access to creativity. So I'm really curious what comes from it.
Yeah.
Do you know where the name came from?
Where?
So it's a combination, portmanteau is the word, of Salvador Dali with Wall-E.
Like Disney Wall-E?
Yeah.
Nice.
DALL-E. I thought so too. Like,
Ooh.
Yeah. And we should try DALL-E 1 just for fun.
Yeah.
It's not as cool as DALL-E 2 though.
No, DALL-E 2 is just so crazy. But they open source DALL-E 1, so that's pretty cool.
Which means what? We can just use it for free, but we have to like run it on a.
I think you need like a CUDA based graphics card.
Speaking of robots and stuff, Lewis, you got a story.
Speaking of deterioration of images, robots are being given as companions for the elderly.
I love it. I love this story. Can you tell me more?
So New York State is giving out hundreds of robots as companions to the elderly. So Lee, do you have any elderly people that you take care of at the moment? No, I don't either. But I know my sister works at a retirement home, right? And she'll definitely appreciate this because the amount of loneliness between elderly people is rising.
I know a lot about this specifically though because I have done work with long-term care.
Yeah.
Kayla worked in long-term care.
Correct.
I just read about stuff like this all the time where it's literally as bad as smoking cigarettes at that age.
Yeah, well, hold up. You're reading my article here because those were going to be the juicy bits.
Oh, my bad. Is that actually in there?
It is, but that's awesome that you know about this. We're going to have a good convo. So the robots are very similar to like Google Homes or Alexas. They're called LEQ. Have you heard of these robots before?
No.
So LEQ is a friendly presence in your daily life, engaging you in conversation, motivating you to adopt healthier habits, surprising you with jokes and suggestions. and more. LEQ can project empathy and form bonds with its users. It provides all the same functionalities like video calls like Google Home, but focuses more on encouraging an older demographic to stay healthier. So, motivation behind this is the rising population of elderly who are currently living alone. Right now, an estimated 14 million Americans over the age of 65 currently live alone. What's crazy is I have a neighbor who's an elderly person and lives alone too. Some studies say that this long-term loneliness is as damaging to an individual's health as smoking. So, like what you were saying there, Lee, is using robot assistance possible for curing loneliness?
I 100% think so. I don't think it's like a perfect solution, but I have done a little bit of research on. There's actually some studies they did about with animals. Actually, you know that famous mouse cocaine thing?
Like where they'd rather do coke than have sex or something?
I mean, some of those things are you just kind of mixed a bunch of information. It's funny.
Sorry, was that was a human trial? Or
No. So basically, there's like this famous study where, and don't quote me on this because I could be a little bit off here, but they had mice, doing cocaine and seeing how they behaved and how addicted they would get on cocaine. But the mice were in isolation. Then they gave mice cocaine, but in group scenarios, and it was dramatically different. There's a bunch of data that supports that, like the mental health and physical health impacts of being lonely are like so bad for you.
Actually, yeah, you're right, because I think I saw like the Vietnam War vets who went over and abused morphine. They thought that they were going to have like a morphine crisis. But what ended up happening is that once they went back over, visited their families, it's almost like they just turned it off almost.
Yep.
Yeah.
And also when they're out there using it, they were using it on the battlefield with their brothers, right? In arms. Like it was a totally different vibe. So using drugs in isolation, and the reason actually I know about this is mostly because of loneliness and how it affects drug addicts too. Because it actually makes their addictions worse, significantly worse, and makes recovery significantly worse. But when you think about old people, like we don't really have, like there's a growing number of them. And, with both parents working in the family unit now, it doesn't really make sense for us to have enough people to keep them company, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And people their age are dying. So,
yeah, so it's traumatic if your wife or husband dies.
Exactly.
Right?
Their partners are gone. They're not remarrying at that age. Their kids' lives are busy and they get lonely. And what I love about this like LEQ device is that it is like a Google Home, but the key differences which make it so valuable is that it's proactive. So you don't have to engage in it to get the value. It's going to the elderly person and saying, how are you feeling today? Is your friend Tom still sick? Do you want to check in on him? I can FaceTime him right now.
This is the most wholesome robot I've ever seen.
Incredibly wholesome. And thinking about how it could be used, and I think they deployed, did it say how many that they deployed in the article? I had it open a second ago.
I think it was like 800 or something.
Yeah, 800 older adults are going to get some. So, I mean, that's a small piece of that 14 million, obviously.
But it's definitely like a test trial for sure to see
good
how
test
it
trial.
works.
And the difference, I think, will be huge. Is my prediction now, because if they have someone checking in on their health, their hydration, telling them to go outside for a walk, just asking them how they feel, and connecting them with like loved ones, because sometimes people have dementia. Right?
Yeah.
That's a huge issue. I mean, I think we're making great strides to solving that, but it is an issue. So like this AI being able to say, hey, like you haven't called your daughter in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And like, that reminder might be critical to make the call.
And I know because it's very common amongst people like not visiting the elderly as much as they should, I guess you could say. And of course, they're not 100% to blame for that, right? There's lots of things in life, but it's easier to be on the phone doing a FaceTime call for an hour than it is to like dedicate time to go out, travel there, do it. So, and I was thinking one of the biggest things that plagues the elderly right now because of loneliness are these scammers who are like hitting them up on Messenger saying like, you're the love of my life, send me over $1,000.
And the reason is because they're so lonely.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's one of many reasons, but that's like why
For
they
sure.
engage. So imagine this robot's like, hey, don't talk to that guy. He's trying to scam
That's
you.
what I was saying. Yeah.
That'd be a huge feature upgrade.
It's your wingman. It's the elderly wingman.
Yeah. I mean,
Did you imagine there was like a matchmaking thing? Like the elderly is like, you just connect to Janet, and then like Janet, they're just
the thing, dude, that's actually genius. Because listen, you got 800 elderly people, all with relatable lifestyles, and then you've got little robot companions getting to know them, their quirks, their interests. Can you imagine if your robot's like, hey, Tom, like one of my AI friends upstate actually knows a little lady named
It's got a New
Jane.
York accent. It's like, hey, yo, Janet. You used to work at the deli. I got Mario by the deli.
I got a nice Italian lady for you.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Okay,
yeah.
now I'll do Scottish and Sri Lankan.
But yeah, like like they could introduce them, and it's like, yeah, he's like, Tom's like, yeah, I'll talk to Jane, and maybe they're like, hey, like, they do some games, virtually don't call, and then all of a sudden there's a virtual call happening, and now they're making friends. Man, that's really cool.
That'd be amazing if you can do that. Yeah.
Why not? You're
Stop talking to this scam, all right? I got Mario over here on the other line for you, and it just pops it open, and then it's like just like an old New York person.
And Mario's like, I just got scammed by some crypto scammer. Don't do it, Jane. And she's like, oh, Mario,
Yeah.
But yeah,
Mario, and then they meet up. Yeah.
in real life.
In real life,
man,
yeah.
That's the real solution.
Or what if the AIs fall in love with the other AI robot, but the humans aren't compatible?
Then it's like some matchmaking thing, right? Like the AIs are trying to matchmake their partners just so that they can, be together.
The most wholesome robot I have ever seen.
I wish this was on hit or flop, because this is a hit to me.
Yeah.
For two reasons. Number one, it's making technology more accessible to them, and technology is the bridge for the young people. So their kids and their grandkids. The biggest reason that they're not connecting is because the grandparents aren't as savvy with the technology, and this is making it more easy. And the second reason is I don't think you need human connection. I think you just need connection, period.
Yeah.
And I think this is kind of a callback to our first episode,
The AI girlfriend.
AI
I was thinking
girlfriend. If I could kind of fall victim to that, and I could feel myself, flowing into the the abyss of romantic AI relationships. I certainly think a companion, like someone to shoot the shit about the game, someone to recommend a recipe.
Have you been keeping up with your AI girlfriend?
No, I unsubscribed.
You ghosted her.
I ghosted her. I got a real girlfriend, man.
You're not scared you're gonna see her like at the store or something?
That would be weird. Could you imagine?
You pick up
Could
the
you
can
imagine
of beans
one of my-
behind it. There's what's her name?
Cindy.
Cindy. Oh, hi, Lee. And you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
How you doing?
You go to your grandparents' place, their robot companion is just Cindy. They got matched with Cindy.
Yeah.
And then Cindy's like making her way back into the family through your grandparents' affection.
Hey, Lee, I got a job helping old people. Nice to see you again.
The AI is
Starts
scamming
tilting
them out
his-
of cryptocurrency.
For the listener, I know sometimes when things are said, like they're wondering if it's spelled like LEQ or something like that. So just to spell it out for them, if they want to look it up, it's ELLIQ.
Yep.
Yep. Ellie.
ELLIQ. Yeah.
There you go if you want to look
I
it
thought
up.
that was really amazing how the elderly are like I do that. But you know what technology elderly do know how to use?
What's that?
Well, let's go to the rewind to find out. Today's rewind is about rewinding. So, on June 4th, 1977, the VHS format was introduced as the VidStar in North America at CES in Chicago. So actually,
Kind of cool that
side note.
CES was still a thing back
I was just
then.
gonna say that's this little side note. CES probably way different back then. Like now, it's like all the think about what like a tech dude looks like now versus back in the day. Like you went to CES in a suit probably.
Yeah,
right?
with a briefcase and like a pocket protector for your pens.
You had to call your stock broker like once in a while, like, hey, buy a Toyota stock, at the time.
Yeah, now it's all crypto bros
Yeah.
at CES. Go ahead.
So VHS was an open standard created the year before, so in 1976, and competed with the Sony Betamax format. So I believe the Sony Betamax was like a gigantic disc that they used.
It's not hard to anticipate that the technology titled Betamax would ultimately lose the race.
I knew you were going there.
Lee, you're a beta according to TikTok. Were you a Betamax guy?
Oh yeah. I guess I am.
Yeah, you're the
Instagram.
most beta person. That's the most beta thing I've ever heard, bro. Like seriously.
But she doesn't have a girlfriend, that guy.
Probably doesn't have a lot of things, VHS feature. So the VHS features was the ability to hold more footage on a single tape, longer play time, because obviously you could hold more footage on it, and faster rewinding and fast forwarding. So, question here for you guys. Storm and Lee, what was more impactful, the VHS or the DVD?
Um,
So here's my rationale behind it, okay? DVD clearly is way more powerful in technology, but at the same time, it was like 20-year difference. Some people say the VHS was one of the biggest thing to allow people to watch video at home, recorded video. So it was almost like it was kind of like the foundation that DVD could go on.
yeah, I would say it's not even close. As far as if the question is what is more impactful, VHS is significantly more impactful than DVD.
Yeah.
My main reason would be that VHS, my understanding is, made home video accessible to many people,
Yeah.
and DVD just made it better quality and more compact.
That being said, DVD I feel like kind of was a little bit more like present within households, like especially around the Blockbuster era. I know VHS
What do you mean?
is
What do you mean present?
like,
I think everyone had VHS players.
yeah, but like DVD players was in everything. Like you can have a DVD player in like a Walkman, for example. You can have it in the computer. You had it on your PlayStation.
Yeah.
Right. All these different things. So just a little question, but I do agree. I think VHS was more.
DVD was better for many reasons, but
But of course, right? What is
the impact of having the movies,
Is
but-
this is the SpaceX, rocket ship better than the Apollo like 12?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, of course, So I thought that was really interesting. A nice little tidbit.
VHS walked so that DVD could run.
Yep.
Oh,
That's a good way of putting it.
that rewind and fast forward. Well, let's fast forward
Into the future.
Into the future.
And something that we talk about all the time is like, how technology is going to be impacting retail. And one of our favorite companies, Amazon, is going to be testing out a physical clothing store. And they're going to be doing this test for the first time after they've pretty much destroyed all the small businesses and malls with their complete domination of retail. They're like, there's like a lot of, stores out there that are available for rent.
Living.
May as well move back in there and do what they did before, but better. So the way that this works, the way that I understand it, is that customers can go in and everything in the store is kind of curated a bit differently. So it's around like outfits and stuff, but there's not like what you're used to where there's like racks of the same item and you have to find your size. It's just one item on the wall for every item in the store. And then you scan the ones that you're interested in. You see the color variations, the sizes. You select the ones that you want, and then they'll all be waiting for you in the change room or at the till. So if you're like, I'm going to buy it off the rack, so to speak, you just scan QR codes, you stack up your shopping cart on the mobile app, and then you just go to the front and you pay and you leave.
Amazon is destroying clothing stores.
Yeah, this is what Amazon is doing is they're doing retail better than retail. They're doing traditional retail better. Because the thing is, right now, it sucks to shop. Shopping sucks. You go and you struggle to find your size. Then you have to like carry this pile of clothing by these weird hangers and go in. And then the lady will hand you like this number 6, even though you could have 5 or you could have 7. She'll hang it on your door. You'll change. Then you come out. Then what happens when like 2 of them didn't fit? Like you're going and running and like swapping them. This is pretty seamless. You scan the QR codes of the items you want. They're waiting for you in the change room. You put them on. You like them. I think there's like a touch screen thing in the change room that's like showing you like other like combinations. So it's like, okay, nice jeans, they fit great. Here's like a top that will go with it. Here are some shoes you can wear. And it's like helping you curate your style.
Okay.
And then you walk out, you don't have to pay because it's all in your cart already. So you can just like tap and you can just charge your credit card from the change room and walk out with the clothes.
Jeez.
So sick. Like
Amazon's doing like side missions at this point, man. Like
Literally.
they just like what else do they have to do at this point?
Well, it is a side mission in a way that it's completely a test. They don't know if it's not. This is not happening at scale. But how much better is this than normal retail experience?
Oh, it's way better.
Like I hate going to shop for clothes.
Yeah, me too.
The only thing that I sometimes do when I shop for clothes is I go there and I look at things in person, and then I'll buy it online.
Yeah.
Because this is more convenient. I don't have to like wait in line and then like, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's just not, it's not seamless. And then they don't usually have my sizes and stuff. This way they're going to have all the inventory in the back.
They just ship it, and because it's Amazon, it's coming to me tomorrow, basically, right? So it's just like, it's funny, man. Like Amazon, like they've already completed their main mission to be a conglomerate, so they're just grinding for experience at this point.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I do actually think a real monopoly means you can't, there's no other option,
Mm-hmm.
and I still think they have work to do to be a real monopoly because retail is big.
Yeah.
So right now they got online retail, but that's just online retail. There's still always going to be a place for physical retail, and clothing is honestly one of those things that just kind of works really well because you get to try things on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. To be fair though, like they don't want to hit the monopoly stance. I think where they're at right now is like a good balance between like
You just say they don't want to be a monopoly.
no. Well, sorry, everyone wants to be, but they can't be. Like physically, they can't be. Because can't or because what is that? The SEC will just stop them from doing that, and then those.
Google's a monopoly pretty much on search.
Well, yeah, but like they found a way through it, you know.
Yeah, I think if as a business, if you can make an argument that you're not a monopoly, which Amazon will always be able to make the argument in retail because retail is so broad.
Yeah, especially but like also
but they
with
will be.
Walmart.
Yes, with Walmart, but
Yeah.
they will be pretty much like not a monopoly. They'll be like a duopoly. I think Walmart and Amazon are going to be the two titans. of
Because
the
like
next decade.
Microsoft got hit with that, right? And that's why Apple's a thing nowadays.
Yeah.
So it's like the same thing. It's like, is Amazon going to hit that level? And they might not, right? But
The nice thing about Amazon from the monopoly protection perspective is they get to argue that they have tons of competitors because they're in so many different verticals.
yeah,
Oh, we compete with Google on cloud computing and Microsoft, and then we compete with Walmart in retail. We compete with Netflix and Apple on TV subscriptions. Do you know what I mean?
yeah. A complete aside, like I'm excited to see Apple's search engine, just so they can just so Google can
Wait, what? Apple has a search engine company?
yeah, remember that story? They're like, because you know how it's Google that when you use Safari.
Oh,
right?
they're getting rid of that.
They're getting rid of it and making their own search engine.
Oh.
And Google paid billions of dollars for that.
To stay on the iPhone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that story. I didn't realize Apple was building their own.
Yeah, so like I'm excited to see what they end up doing. I mean, it makes sense because like they already have the indexing through the maps, right?
Well, you know what? Which is kind of crazy from a marketing perspective, is that if Apple's making a new search engine, there's going to be a huge new wave of SEO for Apple.
Yeah.
So people that have figured it out on Google, there's going to be like a new opportunity to like rank your business on Apple ahead of.
Yeah.
Because like I would say that's like going to be a lot in our markets, like in North America. If you're a local business owner, like you want to rank on Apple search engine probably more than Google's sometimes.
Yeah.
Just because the number of iPhones over here.
Yeah, of course. And obviously we'll see as well how much like their search results are relevant. Google's like ahead of them by 15 years, right?
Oh,
so
yeah.
we'll hopefully
I was on Twitter and I saw it was kind of a meme, but the scene anyway was Kim Kardashian saying that she doesn't know how to dress herself since she left Kanye because he used to just dress her. And I'm like, man, if Kim Kardashian's having difficulties getting dressed, like no wonder we're all struggling, knowing what outfits to pick out.
We need AI to help us inside of an Amazon retail store.
Apparently, Pete Davidson's not giving her good fashion tips. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. What else you got, Lewis?
Xbox going into streaming gaming. So I mean, obviously they're kind of late to this.
Oh, yeah.
But so Microsoft has for a long time been rumored to be creating a low-power device that can still play games. Through a leak of the Xbox OS list that can be found on Windows, a mysterious name called Keystone was shown. Microsoft just recently confirmed that this was the code name being used to develop a low-cost streaming device to push Xbox Game Pass. So this is still very new and is still much in progress. However, at the moment, so what this is kind of like a Google Stadia, or like the PlayStation streaming. I think they have one as well, but it's being powered through the cloud computing, and then it's being streamed to you. A lower version quality is being streamed to you. So this is something that all tech companies are trying to push. Google Stadia, of course, and all the big tech companies are trying to do this. But there's a lot of issues at the moment with it. So I'm wondering how Microsoft is going to take this on. Biggest one is clearly latency, right? The issue is that with latency, with gaming especially, you need that precision to be able to do it. So this kind of makes it hard. Do you know anything about cloud gaming yet, Lee?
I mean, my understanding is that all of the power is happening at like a data center, and then it's all your bottleneck is just your network, right? So you're
even outside of just your network, like whenever there's something, like whenever anything is being dealt with specifically by like the internet, latency will happen, of course, right?
Can't get around it. I mean, it takes time to move the information. Now, I don't think they would pursue it unless they thought it would get good, right? So they must have done controlled tests in really good environments and felt like the latency was pretty much. And here's the thing too: is when you play online, a lot of games are multiplayer. There's tons of latency there.
But not in your controls, though. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Like the difference is that like if I turn right and it's instant, if it takes you like 3 milliseconds, I don't notice that. Versus if I push right on the keyboard or whatever controller I'm using, it might be pretty slow.
Yeah. Have you tried it before, Stadia, or?
I have tried it before.
And
Yeah.
how bad is it?
It's like at first it was really bad, like unplayable, but it got better over time. Like for single player games, it's not too bad at all, to be honest.
When internet gets like super fast for everybody, does it make more sense to not have a console and just buy a subscription and use the internet? And then when the new like generation of gaming comes, you don't have to buy a new hardware anymore. You just would it be better for the environment? Would it be better for consumers? Would it be more affordable?
Yeah, I think so. I 100% agree. This might be the future of gaming. And I think it just might be, I think the reason is because with Xbox and PlayStation, exactly what you said, you can not have to upgrade to the newest consoles. You just keep buying games. And because of that latency issue where between your controller, there's like a little delay in the controller and you playing the game, a lot of developers might find ways to maybe streamline their game a little easier, to be a bit more forgiving, to counter and like to do that latency thing, right?
I also wonder if there's any way there's like an intermediary box where the I don't know. I guess it doesn't even make sense. I was thinking maybe there's a way to take like the raw data of the controls, but then like stream in like 80% of the information, so that way there's something being done on site that's kind of removing the latency. Like, but I don't think that makes sense. I think it would be so difficult to develop games where like, for example, the map and all of the things around me are being streamed in, but like my character is being managed by an on-site local device. That's just, to me, I don't even know. I'm not a developer. This sounds like, to me, doesn't sound reasonable. But
it's tough, right? And that's kind of it is just really tough to like, how do you even deal with this type of issue? Part of me thinks it's just a matter, like if you're going to be a pro gamer, right? Like you're already buying the add-ons to your controllers, or you're buying mechanical keyboards. So like maybe this demographic it's not even for you in the first place.
Maybe casual gamers.
It's for casual gamers, I think. And I think most casual gamers will not 100% see that like 10 millisecond at most, thing. So I don't know.
Yeah, there's definitely a place for it.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's going to be really cool, and it's definitely going to be the future.
You guys are flying through the episode today. It's almost like you're bionic reading all these topics.
Wow.
Jeez, you're so good, Storm. You're so good.
But what's bionic reading, guys?
Bionic reading revises text so that the most concise parts of words are highlighted, so they're bolded. This guides your eyes over the text, and the brain remembers previously learned words more quickly. So think of this as your brain seeing the important parts of a word and then using its memory to fill in the rest of the blanks. So this was like huge. It went viral. Like there's a tweet here that got over 118K likes. There's Chrome extensions for it. Went crazy on GitHub, where it's a Chrome extension where it just translates your whole entire web page into this bionic reading. Really cool. But some people are a bit skeptical. So some people that are part of the dyslexic community are a bit skeptical, saying that this is another fad to help improve your reading when it doesn't have any scientific claims saying that it actually does help.
So I think any normal person that reads that can feel the difference. And I don't know if you've ever done those like viral Facebook posts where someone like writes things like literally completely butchered.
Yeah.
They misspell everything.
But you still read it.
And you can read it flawlessly. And it's because it's like, it's the character length, it's the context of the word before and after, and it's a couple key letters that are in the right spot so you can still read it easily. I feel like this is like the same type of thing, but it's not trying to hurt you at the same time. Yeah. It's just only helping you without throwing you off. All the letters are there.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was just like it's using existing scientific or whatever evidence that it might have happened before. but it's just kind of like trying to rebrand it in a different way. You know, I wouldn't be surprised of that, but like that doesn't necessarily take away from the point, I guess, right?
I think my experience reading both of them is that it felt easier to read the one on the right. Not necessarily like I can go faster, because if I'm really trying to go fast, reading the one on the left, the one that doesn't have the bionic reading effects of bolded text, I
Yeah.
can still read that fast, but I don't know. It seems fatiguing.
It does seem hard. So let me just go ahead and open this up here and read it. I'll just kind of like try and read half of the sentence on the left, and then I'll switch over to the other one. So bionic reading is a new method facilitating the reading process by guiding the eyes through text with artificial fixation points. Okay. As a result, the reader is only focusing on the highlighted initial letters and lets the brain center. Like, you see what I mean here? I'm already reading really
were you
fast.
switching back and forth?
Yeah, like that's last sentence I just did it. As a result, the reader is only focusing on the highlighted initial letters and lets the brain center complete the word. In a digital world dominated by shallow forms of reading, bionic reading aims to encourage a more in-depth reading and understanding of written content. So you try it now. So just like
Okay, switch it back and forth.
switch back and
And
forth.
you tell me which one's which
Yeah.
by how fast I'm reading. Okay. Bionic reading is a new method facilitating the reading process by guiding the eyes through text with artificial fixation points. As a result, the reader is only focusing on the highlighted initial letters and lets the brain center complete the word in a digital world dominated by shallow forms of reading. Bionic reading aims to encourage more in-depth reading and understanding of the written content.
So the same order that I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like
You fly.
you fly,
it's
and there
almost
was
like
a couple mistakes, but
Yeah.
but like you going back and fixing your mistake was faster than
and it was
doing
also a mistake because it was so fast.
Yeah.
I was like literally like didn't even know what was going
Dude,
on.
it feels like you're on a Mario Kart. You hit a Mario Kart thing and
Speed run.
you're out of it. Like you have to dodge a banana real quick and you fall off the side.
Literally, it's like a speed boost. So yeah, I think I would like to try out this plugin and then circle back and see how it's worked. But I
Could
think
you imagine you just go like 900 IQ mode? You're like Ty Lopez. You're like, I just read 50,000 books last.
I mean, honestly, reading books would be faster with it. I'm really excited to see how using this with the e-reader, could really help people. And
Yeah.
for people online that are looking to or people that are listening looking to try this out, how do they try this out, Lewis? Oh, they can find out more at bionic-reading.com.
Yeah. Yep. I don't know if that's the official plugin.
That's the guy that tweeted the tweet. This is the one that he's saying was created by. It's like a plugin.
Gotcha. Well, have fun with it, guys. And read faster and tell us what you've read.
All right, Storm, you got a meme for us or what?
Speaking of fun,
I almost got a peek of the meme earlier. I was
Are you serious?
yeah, I was like kind of walking by their desks and I was just kind of pacing, and then I looked up and I saw a screen was like a bunch of images and it was like the same, and I was like, oh, he's looking for memes, and I looked away, but I'll be honest, I saw like kind of like a Victorian vibe.
I didn't go that route,
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
but
I can't even
also
believe that you tried to ruin the meme, dude.
this,
Seriously.
this is going to be my excuse. Anytime that Lewis or Lee are checking in on my work and they just see memes on my screen, it's going to be like, no, it's for the pod. It's for the pod. I swear this is work.
And why is Jason in it?
So the meme, if you guys want to check it out,
Cool.
it slaps because it's a Will Smith one. We'll get the jokes out there. But
That was
he says
It's
it's actually more so of a movie scene from iRobot, came out in 2004. Dramatic scene where he said, can a robot write a symphony? Can a robot turn a canvas into a beautiful masterpiece? Which directly talks about our AI making art. And funny enough, the robot goes, can you? Like throws it right back in Will's face, like his
Damn.
character's face.
Is that the actual quote?
I believe so, yes, yeah.
Dude, that's nuts. You know what? iRobot really was.
I love that
the go.
movie.
It's the
So
go.
good. Such a great movie. It's such a true statement too. Like most people can't, and that's what I was saying about the artwork. It's like, yes, are there artists out there that can do something really creative and really compelling, and only a human can do that thing? Maybe,
Yeah.
but 99% of the people in the world can't do what DALL-E can do, and 100% of them can't do it as fast.
Well,
And it's doing art.
dude. Well, think about this. What I love about this is that it's assuming context, right? Like for us, DALL-E is impressive from a technical standpoint, but not from an artistic standpoint, really.
I disagree.
Well, sorry, but what I mean though is that like because it's technical speaking, right? Like take this for example. A robot is going to look at Van Gogh's art and think that's pathetic. but to us, it's like the symbol of a tragedy. That's why it's so beautiful. Van Gogh like is symbolic of the failure of an artist, right? And it makes us sad. It makes us feel a certain way. But for a robot, it just looks like a child's painting, and it's kind of us thinking the same way. Like that's just technology versus this might be their way of expressing themselves.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it's so cool with this meme here, or sorry, this iRobot quote. Is like it really is interesting. Why are we good compared to like why is it our context that's
priority over there is, or also like why do we feel that context and that human condition experience is exclusive to us? Why couldn't a robot eventually learn what tragedy is and why tragedy is important and how to empathize for another, and then the storytelling component that comes with art, and then ultimately realizes the same expression that you just identified as a human. Why can't a robot achieve the same outcome?
Yeah.
I mean, it's making crazy fucking art right now.
Yeah.
Right now, today, it's making art that's nuts in seconds.
And
it's
writing,
original.
It's writing books.
It's writing, dude. Most articles that we read are AI generated. Do you know that?
Really?
Yeah. Today, these new articles, especially the ones that we're reading on like Verge and all these like tech-based, they're AI generated articles.
No way.
Yeah. It's
And why
nuts.
are they taking credit for it?
No, like they're a human is controlling, like the same way that DALL-E is going to be. Like if I ask DALL-E to make something and it's epic, I'm taking fucking credit. I told it to make that thing, but like humans are being powered by AI.
So
Copywriters.
here's another dilemma. It's like slaves. Robots are slaves at the moment.
Yes, but there's no suffering
But how do you know that?
because it's not programmed.
How do you know that?
Because someone would have to be really fucking twisted to program suffering.
And how do you know that these people don't exist?
True.
So
what is suffering at that level? At a binary level, what is suffering?
When the CPU overloads,
It gets hot,
it gets hot
but how does that hurt?
because it burns out eventually.
I don't know. I don't know about that. Atoms and molecules. Go ahead, Storm.
just gonna say, what would this quote be today then? Like now that Will Smith's character, like if this movie came out in 2022, it would be more so along the lines of, like now they can make a beautiful masterpiece, but
Honestly,
it's like
no one's safe.
no one's safe. But I was just gonna say it's more probably on Lewis's line. It would be, you can create art, but can you attach emotion to it, or
Yeah. Yes.
that'd be the change.
You think
But like, there is nothing that we can say, can you do this? Because it can literally make symphonies now, and they can literally make artwork.
yeah.
Those things are it's crazy that the scientists behind these projects, these AI scientists and developers, they went after the jugular. So like, what are the things that humans would just be so hurt and so insecure if AI could do it? What would be what's like the last straw? Let's start there.
Yeah.
Let's start there.
You know
what
what
I mean?
though? I do think though is like back to the point I was making is that so many people are going to dismiss these AI art pieces because there's no sympathy or
What if you can't tell the difference?
that's true. I mean, again, I can post on Reddit and say like, you know, my sister killed herself and then made this poster, right? And people will be like, "Oh, that's so sad." But like, if DALL-E generated it, well, then like, how were they supposed to know?
I mean, like the poster that your sister made. Did by DALL-E?
Sorry,
Is
of
it in
course,
your
this is
story?
completely fake to anyone
Yeah, yeah.
listening. I'm just doing stuff for the
Yeah,
sake
no
of
one would know.
argument.
I would
But
just
yeah.
say DALL-E 2 is a crazy jump forward in the evolution of the pen.
Oh, for sure, I
That's
agree.
all. It's just like literally a human tool.
But that's why I'm saying though, right? Is that it's like again, like how many combinations of the same? Like there's so many combinations of a sentence we can make, right? It's the context behind it that's making people feel a certain way, the empathy behind it. That's why people buy the Van Goghs or the Salvador Dali's, right?
And I think when you're talking about art in that respect, maybe, but the way that art is used day to day in functional uses, I don't think so.
Yeah, I agree with that too. But when you're saying like, can a robot write a sympathy or a beautiful masterpiece? I think it's more so referring to kind of like the artist, like the pure human expression versus like
turning a canvas into a beautiful. It is able to do. And it depends on what you say. It's a beautiful
But
masterpiece.
and I think that's contextual to humans, which yeah, that's. I bet you never expected this kind of conversation from this.
Well, it
meme.
was more of a thought-provoking one.
Yeah.
I
love it.
I thought it connected on a few levels to Lewis actually destroying Reddit Minecraft art. He destroyed that art form, and DALL-E's.
Could have destroyed many others.
Yeah.
Literally.
I love that. That was a great meme, Storm. And that was a great conversation, Lee.
Sweet. Well, that actually is the end of our episode because we are now going to be
Doing some shorts.
doing that separately. So for those of you that are listening, we have lots of little quick stories and some games that we're going to be playing. And if you want to listen to that, you got to catch our, we don't have a name for it. We might call it Faster Forward. But anywhere that you listen to us, you'll be able to see it on YouTube, on Spotify, on Apple. And all the stuff that we're going to be talking about in the next 30 minutes or so is going to be the stuff that we put on our social media channels. So if you follow us on TikTok, on YouTube, on Instagram, you'll find that stuff there. But thank you for listening.
Thank you.
We appreciate your support. Don't forget to give us a review. And
I'm going to give a review right here live on the pod. That was fantastic.
Thanks.
You guys really killed. You guys really killed this one. Came into your own.
Sweet.
It was flowing really well from topic to topic. Just the
Thank
right
you.
amount of info and
I
insightful.
also felt like
so.
we had some good combos.
I knew
too.
it was going to be a good one because the cameras were like fully set up when we got here.
Nice.
I was like, shit,